my goodness.
Ow, my ear's twisted.
Luke Skywalker, are you okay?
No, my ear's twisted. I was just trying to not have this hard bit of the funner.
I think that's where it's meant to go.
It's touching my brow. Red 5 standing by. Stay on target. That's not what Red 5 said. What's going on? Why am I wearing a funny helmet?
I have no idea.
You do have an idea. You know exactly what we're doing. Why are you
idea.
saying you've got no idea? Why are you saying that? You know what we're doing. You know why I'm wearing it.
Just I can't think straight. It's all going on. Oh, microphone.
Oh, it's too hot in this. It's a very hot day, and this is misting up. Because we haven't got our fan on or the window open, because it will interfere with the sound. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take it off and reveal my helmet hair.
Why do you laugh so much at that? I was saying it before, and he just cracks up. Out of control laughter.
Oh. Prepare to see my helmet hair, everyone.
Why is that so funny?
Yeah, why don't you leave a comment and explain? Ow.
Oh my god. No.
Ow. Why was I wearing that? Well, you're not getting your Chernobyl video yet, but we thought we'd tell another story, which is a good story.
It is a good story.
It relates to Star Wars.
Yes, it does.
It's about our honeymoon. Which you're all
How
kind of
romantic.
thinking. You're all thinking, oh, I just get to talk about their honeymoon. And the honeymoon did not go entirely as planned, as some of you are aware.
That is an understatement.
Yeah, to say the least. We had this dream trip that we'd even waited.
We've been looking forward to it for a year and a half.
Yeah, because we didn't go away straight after we got married. We've been together forever, by the way. We weren't. We got married just because your parents were coming over from Australia, so that's basically it.
Yeah,
and we love each other. Yes, yeah. Well, yeah.
We did want to get married.
Wish I hadn't put that helmet on. It was too hot.
Oh dear.
So we were waiting for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to open before going on honeymoon.
Yes.
Which is why we waited a year and a half or thereabouts in order to do that. Oh, my tummy made a...
Tum-tum made rumble?
My tum-tum rumble. I don't know if that was picked up by the microphone. Not the runs anymore. Not the ground of that.
God,
sorry,
no.
Jesus. Thought I wouldn't do any of that this video because this will probably be seen by Star Wars fans and the like.
Oh no.
I thought I was going anyway. Where was I? So we wanted to go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and we wanted to go to specifically the one in California, rather than Florida.
Do you remember why?
Well, yeah, I do know. Well, firstly, that was the one open first.
Oh, that's probably mainly why.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you get to see the extent of my not great memory.
We wanted to do a road trip beforehand.
Yeah, we wanted to go through the desert and everything.
And it's a part of the world that, whatever you think of American politics or the like, it's stunning. The sort of American Midwest, also Southwest, isn't it?
Southwest?
The West.
Yeah, Southern California.
Southern California and Arizona and Utah. Around there is just, it's my favourite place on earth.
Yeah, breathtaking. It's like nowhere else.
Yeah, the scale of it all. And it was, I first went there as a kid because my sister married an American guy first American I ever met, in fact, who was called Jim Bob. What? Sorry, saying it out loud, it sounds funny. But Jim Bob was my sister's first husband, and he was in the US Air Force, and he grew up in, he was a fascinating guy. He was related to Mark Twain on his mother's side. Her surname was Clemens, which of course Mark Twain's real name was Samuel Clemens. And he grew up in a swamp in Georgia and wore dungarees and drove a pickup truck and had shotguns in the back. I mean, I was absolutely fascinated.
How did he find himself in England?
Well, he was stationed here.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was in the Air Force. Yeah. But we went over to visit them. They lived on Edwards Air Force Base. I think I was 12 at the time. And two things kind of happened then, which were, one, I fell in love with that part of the world, and the deserts and the mountains and the roads and the emptiness of it all, and just the sort of kind of the sort of majestic desolation of it, for want of a better, less wanky term. But it was also the first time I went to a Disney theme park, and that stayed with me. You know, I remember at night coming out of Disneyland, and there were, first time I'd ever seen fairy lights in trees, and it was just
really?
like, oh man, this is magic. So I've always kind of had a thing for America ever since then.
Yeah, it affected you on such a profound level.
On a very profound level. And so it was sort of a no-brainer to kind of go over there for our honeymoon, really. You know, Disney,
We'd already
Star
done
Wars,
a road trip a few
some
years earlier.
Before. Yeah, in that part of the
and
world.
it was...
You're sort of falling in love with it.
Yeah, it was such a great experience that we needed an excuse to do another road trip over there.
Yeah, one that we could justify the expense and
Exactly, yeah.
leaving the kids.
Yeah.
So our honeymoon seemed like the perfect opportunity. And of course we wanted to do Disney because we hadn't planned to go to Disney on the first.
Well, you're a Disney fan and a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I could not.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we had this itinerary that I'd drawn up, where our first stop, our first place we stayed was Joshua Tree, wasn't it?
Well, Santa Monica first.
Oh yeah, but that was as we got off the plane.
Yeah.
Basically,
We went to the pier and
that night
saw the sea, not the sea, the ocean, Pacific Ocean.
Get it right. Don't call it
Saw
the sea.
a big YouTuber.
It's the sea. What's the difference?
It's a huge difference. The ocean and the ocean's massive.
Well, what's
and it is the Pacific Ocean. It's not called the Pacific Sea.
It should be. So from there we were. I'm not going to give you all the ins and outs of the trip because no one wants to hear us talking about our holiday.
Yeah.
You want to get to the bit where we nearly died, don't you? Let's face it. Yeah. That's what they're here for. They want to hear how we nearly died. It's not hyperbole. We really did.
Hit by
Okay, you're jumping ahead.
Oh, well, that's what you were talking about.
It's
Okay,
teasing.
Just cut that bit out.
I'll bleep out the word. And then they're all going to wonder what we were hit by. Oh, God. It's too hot to do this.
Why didn't you put a t-shirt on?
I don't know. They want to see my moves.
Well, do you want to get changed?
No. So I'd planned for us to stay in the Joshua Tree Inn on the edge of Joshua Tree National Park, which I had never actually been to Joshua Tree before in all my time over there. But obviously know it from certain album covers and films and things. Mm-hmm. And because I like freaking Sanja out, I didn't tell her that we were staying in the room next door to the one where Gram Parsons had taken an overdose.
Thanks a lot. I knew that was the inn where he'd passed away, and Paul had joked with me that he was going to hire that room, and I was like, no way, because I'm not going to sleep if we stay there. So it was only when we got there that I found out we were next door.
Yeah, well, I had a weird experience in the night, didn't I?
Yeah.
Which was, we hadn't heard anyone in the room, the Gram Parsons room.
I mean, I because I didn't want to be woken up by ghosts or anything, I fell asleep with headphones in, playing like sort of nature sounds and stuff. And then I did get up in the night to go to the bathroom and sort of just ran straight back to bed. And I heard the noise.
Oh, you heard the noise?
Oh, I heard the noise. No, I didn't hear the specific noise that you heard, but I heard it sounded like there was a party next door. And I just kind of ran back to bed and put the headphones in again and didn't want to open my eyes because, you can't risk opening your eyes in case you see something. So, yeah. And then you woke up a little while after me.
And had a wee-wee.
Yes.
And while I was sitting on the toilet, which was, the wall was directly the connecting wall with the Gram Parsons room. I could hear this, what sounded like a party going on, and music playing.
That's what I'd heard.
And while I was sitting there, someone throwing up.
Oh.
Apologies if that was an abrupt jump cut, but my dad turned up to collect his car that I've been borrowing. So I was in the middle of the night, I was having a wee and heard a big party going on in the Gram Parsons room, along with projectile vomiting into the toilet. So was that the ghost of Gram Parsons? Or was
vomiting ghost?
Was it some people trying to emulate their hero?
And the way he died. You be the judge. It was spooky.
It was a little, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, spectral vomiting isn't really what I need to hear in the middle of the night. They did tell us, didn't they, that there was some, or did I look it up that there was?
I think you looked it up. You looked
spooky.
it up afterwards, and some supernatural goings on apparently happen in that room quite a lot.
Yes.
So the cleaners or the room service people don't want to be alone in the room.
Sorry, everyone.
They carry around walkie-talkies because so often they've gone in to clean the room and been locked in. And the only way that they can get out again is radioing for help.
Why have they not
radioing? Is that right?
Yes. Why have they not got key?
Yeah.
Why have they not got key? These videos all over the place. But we're going to get to the bit where we nearly died when we were hit by a truck. I'm just going to bleep that bit.
Oh.
So we were in Joshua Tree for... we were there one night before the thing happened, was it?
Yeah, one night.
It was an amazing night.
Because we went to the desert.
We went into the park. The national park. And saw the amazing...
At sunset. Phenomenal. Like, absolutely...
The stars.
One of the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was eerily kind of... It was purple and pink. And,
yeah.
Sorry, I just realised I'm quoting Little Fluffy Clouds by the...
Are you?
The Orb, I think, yeah.
And we did some stargazing there.
Yeah, apart from the annoying man in the car park who ruined our tranquility.
That was really winding you up.
Well, okay,
so we were on this big rock looking at the stars.
Not any old rock, Cap Rock, where
Cap Rock.
Gram Parsons' stolen body was attempted to be cremated by his mates.
No wonder he haunted us.
Right, because we were laying on Cap Rock.
Yeah. Disrespecting Cap Rock by laying on it.
Well, we were trying to have a lovely, peaceful time.
Oh, no, that sounds like we were doing something rude.
No.
We were, like, literally just stargazing.
As if. On your honeymoon.
Well, okay, we couldn't because there was that other guy in the car park being really loud the whole time.
We couldn't. We wouldn't have done it.
Oh, yeah.
We've gone down a...
Oh, God, cut all this out.
Well, we couldn't.
The only thing stopping us was loud... What was his name?
I think it was Adam.
I think it was Adam.
God, he was annoying. Anyway, so...
I don't think he was that annoying. He was just a bit repetitive.
Well, yeah, because everyone else who turned up to do stargazing would be like, oh, here for stargazing? I'm Adam. Really loudly to all of them. They were all being quiet and respectful, as were we, by not having hands on Cap Rock.
Oh, help.
Anyway, the next day we were going to go into National Park again and drive through, and I had this mad plan to go to, there's this area called the Salton Sea, where in the 50s and 60s, I think it was created by this inland sea was created by the runoff from a dam or something like that. And in the 50s and 60s, they tried to turn it into a resort for like sort of water sports and like, so they built sort of hotels and stuff around the edge. And then basically the water in it became toxic. And,
just stagnated because it had nowhere to go.
The fish in it all died. And the water became poisonous.
Yeah, look up pictures because this
well,
place...
you don't need to because I'm going to be dropping some in.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
perfect.
They're not my pictures because, as we'll get to, we never made it to the Salton Sea.
No.
So we were headed down there because I wanted, it was somewhere that people just generally don't go. And also...
Apparently it stinks as well.
Yeah, and it stinks, and the shore is full of dead fish. And
Why did we even want to go
well,
there?
because it was post-apocalyptic.
Yeah,
it's all the kind
it
of
sounds
buildings
really cool.
were, and it's completely remote. And that's what I love over there is the fact that you could not see another human being for hours.
Because no one wants to go near
Yeah,
it.
that didn't stop us seeing some other human beings, but with terrible consequences.
We weren't. What? We didn't get there though.
Yes, that's right, because we saw the other human
Oh
beings
yes.
on the way.
Yes.
Yes. So we drove through Joshua Tree. We had a lovely time.
With you stopping to
Dress up as
Venus again. Was it the desert punishing us for being disrespectful by prancing around
How is it
dressed as
disrespectful?
Venus?
How is that?
It?
How is that disrespectful to the desert?
You're not being like
You urinate on the desert.
solemn, and you're just like
Look at these. Beans.
great footage though.
Great footage of Venus. I'll drop some of that in as well now. We were considering going up to an old silver mine that we saw on a
Yeah, we
cliff
walked
top.
halfway there.
Yeah, and then
realised it was actually way further than it seemed.
yeah, but I mean Joshua Tree, the national park, I mean stunning place, absolutely
Yeah.
stunning, as you would think for a national park. So we kind of came out the other side, and outside the park there's this sort of area that's all these kind of chalky cliffs. It was like sort of very white
Again,
rock,
completely different.
not
to
part
just
of the national
5
park.
minutes. Yeah.
And we were saying how cool it would be to sort of film something there.
Yeah.
And we were even sort of, maybe we could do a follow-up to found footage or
Huge
approaching after.
white cliffs.
Yeah. So we stopped to kind of take some photos and just soak it in. And then out the other side of it, we sort of came to this area still quite some way from the Salton Sea. Well,
The
first
scenery changed again completely.
scenery changed again to vineyards.
Vineyards. Literally 5 minutes drive out of the desert. Or probably still part of the desert.
Yeah, but with vineyards.
Yeah, vineyards in the desert.
And we were heading for, I don't know if I told you this, the Banana Museum. Which is at the top of the Salton Sea. Is the World Banana Museum.
Oh, yes.
It's just a banana museum. Random, but anyway, that was going to be our first stop, because in the Salton Sea there's nowhere to get anything to eat, nowhere to go to the toilet, because no one goes there, and we were going to sort of do a circuit of it and kind of come back late that night. That was the plan, but Banana Museum first to have a wee and maybe something to eat. But we were headed down this sort of smallish road, in between sort of vineyards, and then we came to a sort of junction that it's sort of a small kind of off the beaten track road, and a truck. We hadn't seen any vehicles or anything for ages.
Nothing.
Like one of those big sort of American 4x4s, just out of nowhere. I saw it heading towards us, and it was one of those moments where, our car was a lot smaller, but it was one of those moments where it's like, people sort of talk about this when they have sort of near-death experience, how everything sort of slows down, and it was kind of like that. But it wasn't slowing down enough, because there was a sort of sense of you hadn't seen it. You were looking away.
I was trying to get
but I saw
sweet.
And it was instantly my brain does the maths that there's no way I'm going to avoid a collision with this.
Yeah, I saw it. See, I saw you, and I just saw you go, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have time to turn around. I just heard the noise and felt the impact.
Yeah. And it was, I'd tried to, which probably did just save your life, I'd put my foot on the accelerator, which meant that this truck hit the rear back as opposed to your side of, directly into your door. But what happened was, I mean, it was, we hit, and it was like sort of one of those noises. It was just sort of, like, oh, that's a bad noise.
I'm just, whoops.
Yeah, but it's and the sort of violence of it when you're hit at that speed by something. I mean, I still sort of, it's quite good talking about this actually, because it's something that when I've had sort of flashbacks to it since, I kind of shut them down. So this is sort of really the first kind of proper time.
And you get a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah, because you didn't see it. I do. I mean,
I felt it. I felt the impact, and I heard it, and then what happened afterwards. I saw that, and that really, really stayed with me. And the smell. But
it was like, sorry.
No, it's
before we jump ahead.
Yeah.
Because a few years ago I got punched, and I remember at the time we were sat in traffic, and I had my window down, and this guy just out of nowhere just came up and smacked me in the face, and I was very lucky not to lose the sight in that eye. I mean, I was blind in this eye for a couple of months. But I remember a lot of people were like, okay, go speak to someone, get therapy, etc., etc. But that, even though I couldn't see and I had to have, steroids and stuff to sort of clear my eye, because I hadn't seen the guy coming.
I mean, he was literally running down the middle of a main road.
Yeah.
And we were the only car with the windows open because our air conditioning didn't work.
Yeah. So, and he just came up and whacked me in the face, and I thought I'd been hit by a football. That was my first thought, because it felt like when I'd been hit in the face by a ball when I was a kid. I mean, I only saw him running off. I didn't see him, so I didn't. But with the car accident,
you saw it coming.
I saw it coming, and that has sort of left me kind of shaken, really, when I think about it. But it was weird. As I'm talking about it now, I'm not feeling that like I have been for the last sort of 6-7 months since it happened. But so it was the anticipation of it that I think
bracing.
Yeah. So which
in fact affected you the next day.
Yeah, well, we'll get on to our trip to Whole Foods.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
We just span off the road, and we smashed into one of the vineyards.
Yeah, right into the vineyards, like you just saw the trees sort of going over the windshield, and then stopped and.
Well, stopped because it hit a tree.
Yeah. And I was trying to figure out, is this real or is it a dream? And then the windscreen a branch poked through the windscreen, and it just smashed into like a million little pieces.
See, I don't remember that. That's all the bits that I don't remember.
Oh,
I can
really?
kind of remember it going through the trees.
Yeah, with all the branches kind of going
But
over
I don't
us.
remember the point at which we stopped. I mean, I know I was trying to hit the brake.
Because it stopped, and then there was like a pause. We looked at each other. I was trying to work out whether this was real or a dream. And then it's so weird the way the glass smashed. I've never seen so many tiny pieces of glass.
Yeah, but that's safety glass, isn't it? That's what they do, so you're not hit by like big shards of it. But the inside was, I mean, the dashboard was all crumpled.
It was just like smoke.
I mean, the first thing was like, are you okay? Well, first thing was like, shit, oh God, what's just happened?
Yeah, just.
And then it's like, are you okay? But you couldn't.
Well, I was seeing stars. It was like I had to wait to kind of get back into my body again. There was dust everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of dust.
Smoke and dust. And I kind of needed to snap back into...
Yeah,
not.
You were
I didn't lose
you were
consciousness.
dazed for
I was
quite a while.
really dazed. I was just like... I mean, I felt like I was out of my body, and I literally had to will myself back in. And then I was breathing in a lot of dust.
Yeah. But I was like, we have to get out.
Yeah. You were like, get out, climb over.
Then I noticed I was bleeding, but I was like, you couldn't open your door.
No. Well, first you were saying climb over, and I couldn't move this side of my body, so I was just like, I can't, and you're getting cross at me, and I'm like, but I can't.
I wasn't. Cross
And
is
then-
not. Cross implies I was
No.
annoyed or something.
That's how it felt.
It was like.
It felt like you were
It
getting
was-
annoyed
it was
at
more
me. I was
like,
I literally
I don't want
cannot.
you to stay in a car that's going to blow up or something.
Yeah, I know.
It was like panic. Get
Yeah,
out.
and then I tried to open the door, and the door wouldn't open, and then you got out.
Well, I got out. I was going to come round and see, try and get you out, but I
Yeah.
couldn't get round there. The trees were too thick.
Yeah, it was just like.
And also,
brush.
as I got out, as I kind of sort of stumbled away from the car and saw like the full extent of the damage on the car, I looked down at my hand, and it was like kind of, well, it's the scar now, which I've shown before, but yeah, I could see my bone. It was bone and just like a lot of meat. I will put up a picture. Close your eyes if you don't like gory images, because it is pretty gory. I'm putting it up now.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You can look back. It's gone. It's safe. So I
Yeah.
kind of then I was like, I think I was just dazed, and I thought, shit, I'd better go and check on the other car. Because, you know, if there's someone dead or something now. I mean, I didn't know how badly hurt you were at this
Yeah, I mean, I
point.
was just sitting there trying to open I was so dazed,
Yeah.
trying to open the door, and I couldn't breathe. And it was like, I just felt like I was filling up with dust.
Yeah.
So when the door was opened, eventually, it was like literally at the right time, because it was like my.
Well, I went and checked
so
on
hard to
them.
breathe.
They were all okay. The kids
But
were
they were
crying. It was
really
basically
shaken up.
it was a Mexican family with, there were a lot of them in that car. I mean, there was like sort of dad, wife, daughter, and a small child. Thankfully, none of them were hurt because this.
But they were so. I mean, it was one of the worst memories from it is seeing the little girl cry
yeah,
so much.
I felt awful.
And I was like, "We're okay, don't worry." And she was
You're jumping
so
ahead.
shaken
You
up.
ran out the car by this point.
Oh yeah.
So I saw they were okay, and then I managed to somehow get through the trees to get you out, or to open the door for you.
And you were with the driver of the other car, because I remember him kind of, he held my arm, and
I think he helped you out because I was bleeding.
yeah,
But
so
yeah,
he'd come over to help.
yeah. And then we got you out, and you sat on the ground, and we were all just them and us, sort of dazed. You kept sending me back to get
I
things
know,
out the car.
because I couldn't move. I felt really guilty because I literally my hip was like, because I'd gotten hurt on my hip as well, probably where the safety belt was, or seat belt, and I couldn't move my shoulder, so I was kind of hunched over, half dazed, or more than half dazed. But all I was thinking of is like, you need to get the passports, you need to get the water bottles. I still miss the other water bottle.
Yes.
Um,
So I kept
but it
getting
was
things
like-
to
and
the
then
car,
poor
and then
you were
Sanja
being
would
sent back to the car each
bleeding all
time.
over the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I did want to get stuff out there because there was stuff that we needed.
Yeah, our
Unfortunately-
documents
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, all that.
Yeah.
But then at some point, we were just sort of sat on the ground dazed.
We weren't waiting for long.
No, well,
I was-
another car came along, didn't it? Some other people turned up.
Right.
Do you remember that? I think it was them that called the ambulance, possibly.
Oh, I see.
Do you not remember them turning up?
No.
No.
I thought
Well,
that
which was kind of semi-useful because the family in the original car that hit us couldn't speak any English at all. There was no English whatsoever. But the people that turned up, I think, could speak English and Spanish.
Oh, I see.
So, it was, they weren't very friendly, the people that showed up.
Well, that's fine. It's not really important.
Whereas the people in the car who hit us, they were really
I
sweet.
really felt for them.
Yeah, me too. Because
Really felt
you know,
for them. They were so shaken up.
yeah, really shaken up. And
Like more than us.
well, it was one of my main memories of the accident was before we got taken away in the ambulance, was the guy just, obviously his one word of English that he knew, or he knew this word, just said sorry, really sorry.
Yeah, and I kept telling them, like, we're okay, we're
Yeah,
okay.
I know. But the thing is, I kept
think
doing
they
that and
were
going
so
over to the
scared.
kid while I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
you know. Anyway, we weren't okay.
No,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
were okay. Oh,
You had a broken collarbone.
Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, we were okay.
We were alive and they were unhurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
luckily they were completely unhurt.
So
they had a nice protective car.
Skipping ahead a bit, we got taken to the hospital, seen out, you got x-rayed, both of us. They couldn't do anything with this other than they gave me painkillers.
They poured a load of disinfectant
they said to me, this is going to hurt. They poured it. It was just like pouring water on it. Nothing.
Yeah, like big sort of jug of it.
Yeah, but I still can't feel anything when I do that. So, yeah, nothing. So they couldn't do anything with me because all the skin and stuff had ripped off. So there was nothing to sew back together. I just had to have it wrapped up, which was painful the first time I changed the dressing because the dressing had all stuck to the congealing wound, and I kept like reopening making it bleed again. Yeah, actually that's made me go cold. So I remember peeling that off. So we were stuck in this town. I can't remember the name of the town now. What was the name of the place?
Oh,
it was the medical centre. It was John F. Kennedy Medical Centre or hospital or something. But anyway, we didn't have a car, so we had to get an Uber back. Well, no, first things first, I went outside while...
Oh my goodness, you spent like 2 hours on the phone.
Jesus Christ, with our
Luckily,
car.
they'd given you Valium.
Yeah, 2 hours on the phone with the car rental people explaining the situation. It was the Valium that got me through. By this point, my body had started seizing up as well. I could barely walk. They put me in a wheelchair as well after I got out of the ambulance because I couldn't walk. Just because of the muscles, because from tensing up and the adrenaline and everything. Which I sort of had that worse than you because I think I'd seen the car.
Because you saw it coming,
my entire body had just got locked up.
Really locked up. But by the next day, you'd really started.
Yeah, I really couldn't walk.
Locking up.
Yeah, and we had like bruises all round here where the seatbelt had been on. They all came out. Beautiful purple. I've got a new bruise here, by the way. Look. Don't know what that's from.
Mystery.
Just in case anyone had seen it and thought I had a dirty patch on my arm. So I'm gonna have to trim some of this back. This is a long random story.
It was gonna be way short.
I thought it was gonna be about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Same. You start off with a helmet and go.
He's talking about our accident.
They're like, oh, not again.
It's a good enough story.
It's a great story.
The next part we'll do Galaxy's Edge as the second part.
Okay.
Why not? Yeah, how we nearly died. That's the title of this video. So we had to get an Uber back to Joshua Tree Inn,
which was about an hour drive.
It's an expensive bloody Uber.
That was an expensive Uber.
But not the most expensive Uber, because we called it. I'd spent these 2 hours on the phone to the car rental people who were... Was it the car rental people or was it the insurance people? Was it
car rental?
Yeah, completely. All they cared about was the car. I mean, not how we were or anything, just literally about the car. And once I realised, okay, I've logged that this has happened, they sort of washed their hands of us, really. I tried to see if they'd get another car out to us. No. So we had to get an Uber back to Joshua Tree Inn, and from there, well, that night, what did we do? I tried to rent us a new car from a different company because I wasn't going to go through them again.
So we went with the one that we know and trust and always use.
You always use in this country. We're not going to mention them, but but that meant getting to Palm Springs.
To the airport, because it was a Sunday the next day.
Yeah, the next day
everywhere was closed except for the car rental place.
The nearest car rental place that was open and would give us a car was at Palm Springs Airport.
And how long of a drive was that? An hour and a half?
Yeah, hour and a half in an Uber.
Yeah. Now that was an expensive
and
Uber
I
trip.
had a mashed up hand. You had a
I could barely
broken
walk
collarbone
for more than 2 seconds.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we went to Walmart that night to get some dinner, didn't we?
Oh, my goodness.
Walking around there was just like shuffling around Walmart.
Like zombies.
Joshua Tree Walmart. Yeah. But we were just sort of in shock, weren't we? We were just
I mean, we must have looked a mess as well.
Yeah, because we went... I don't think we got changed. We hadn't had a shower.
We had, no, so we're covered in
blood.
blood.
Neither of us could shower. Yeah, I think I still had blood on
But
my
I needed to
jeans.
get leggings or something stretchy that I could use one hand to
Yeah.
put on and
That's
take
why we
off.
went to Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
and
needed leggings.
we had to get food
Yeah. Oh, horrible.
and medicine.
Yeah. I mean, that night, I remember I just kept saying sorry to you.
I know, I felt really bad because it's not your fault.
I know, but I was the driver. Anyway, let's not get into that.
Getting
Still
deep.
feel bad. It was our honeymoon.
Yeah, but it's not your fault. I mean, stuff happens, you know. That's just part of life.
Yeah. Yeah. But we weren't in a good way, were we?
No.
And we still had to get back to LA because we were still meant to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
But we managed to get the Uber to Palm Springs, where you got talking while I was in there renting the car. You got talking to some weird guy outside.
He was just a really chatty guy with his...
very friendly.
Friendly, colourful guy with his little dog.
Yeah, with his Hawaiian shirt. So then we had to... But I think at this point... When did I do it? I'm a member of a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Facebook group. And I think... I posted on there. Perhaps I didn't do it until we got back to LA. But I
Because
posted.
we had a whole day in Newport Beach.
Yeah, that's when I think I.
Which was just
Posted.
a day of recovery.
Yeah.
Because you had to drive from Palm Springs
Yeah.
to...
Which was terrifying.
Back to LA.
Which was absolutely
That was
terrifying.
so terrifying because every little noise, every time you see a car coming
Yeah.
from the side, we'd both brace ourselves.
Yeah, that was horrible.
And it was a 3 hour... Was it 3
Possibly
hours?
longer. With
Yeah.
traffic. With traffic, we were stuck in a load of
Yeah.
traffic at one point.
That was not an easy drive,
Yeah.
emotionally and mentally.
Yeah.
So I don't think you posted that day because then when we got to Newport Beach, it was the evening.
Yeah.
We hadn't really had any sort of break time.
What, to take in what the hell had happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we still hadn't taken stock until we kind of got to the little hotel in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
We'd had all these plans in Newport Beach to kind of go out to the sort of the pier, and none of it happened because of
We couldn't move.
we couldn't move. You know, that night in Newport Beach, we went to a Whole Foods, which was
Oh my
just.
goodness. We
I mean,
must have, I mean...
we did laugh.
Well, we could only laugh at ourselves because just to get from the car into the store took us about half an hour. It was just like every 2 seconds we're like, ow, ow.
Yeah. I remember pushing the truck.
I'd seize up and cramp up. But we needed to get something.
Yeah, we couldn't go out to eat, so we
yeah.
needed to get stuff that we could have at the hotel room.
Yeah.
Um,
It was, oh,
man.
I mean, we must have looked like a couple of zombies there as well, kind of shuffling along and yowling.
And it's really posh as well.
It's so, oh my goodness.
Poshest
It
Whole
was-
Foods ever.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Kensington here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like all these like really posh people everywhere. And us looking like a mess.
Me shuffling like I'm
Limping.
had an
And,
accident in my pants.
yeah.
Anyway, but the
But
next,
good food.
yeah, oh yeah,
I love Whole Foods in America.
It's very good. Anyway, I'm trying to cut a long story short here, but we
Sorry,
keep.
I
No, it's not
keep
your
making it
fault. I do
longer.
it as well.
Yeah, so basically we spent the evening
Newport
there
Beach.
and the next day... Did we leave the next morning?
Yeah.
But we had to extend our time.
Well, yeah, 'cause
because
you-
it took me so long to get
Yeah.
ready.
Well, I had to. You had a kind of sling thing that I had to try and put on you without
Yeah.
hurting you.
Yeah.
And tighten it and getting it the right angle.
Yeah,
Put your
because
arm like that.
there was one position that didn't hurt, and it had to be only in that position, and any other movement would just be unbearable.
Yeah.
So we had to get it into the right exact position. But yeah, so it took too long to
Yeah.
get ready in the morning, and luckily they were understanding and let us stay
Yeah,
a couple of hours longer without charging us.
She wasn't very friendly.
Oh dear.
I said, "Do you
Well,
mind?
it's-
My wife's broken her collarbone. Do you mind if we take a little bit longer to check out?"
But they didn't charge us,
No, they
and they
didn't.
let us take our time, which is
Yeah, and I had
the
to get,
main
and
thing.
I had to get all the bags out as well.
Oh
I
no!
got-
Yeah, I know.
I had to carry all the stuff we
Oh.
had with.
Yeah,
shuffling
that was
out.
so hard watching you carry stuff and not being able to help.
Well, yeah, but not carry stuff and not really
Not
being able to
easily.
carry it.
Yeah.
Pushing it along the ground. with
Yeah,
my
because
foot.
that was the day that you were all stiff.
Yeah. Helmet hair.
Oh no.
Cut a long story short, so we checked out at Newport Beach, and we were going to our Disney hotel, this was the sort of the meat and potatoes of the thus far ruined honeymoon, was, you know, staying there. We had all these big plans. We were going to go to the Halloween party that was on. It was end of October, which we didn't end up going to. But while I was in my hotel, I was still excited to be there, and you know, it felt like an achievement that we'd made it onto Disney property, given that we nearly didn't.
Because a lot of people were saying, like our family was saying, "Are you coming home?" There was no way I could have gone home in the state I was in. Like I couldn't sit.
Aside from anything
there was no
else,
way I could handle a 9-hour plane journey. I couldn't sit in a comfortable position for a couple of minutes.
Nor could I at that point.
So the only thing that made sense was just to carry on and rest as much as we could, and
until the time our flight. I hope we were better by the time we had to fly back.
Yeah, and just try and make the most of it as much as we could.
So while we were in our room one night, our bruises ripening beautifully, I posted on a Facebook group for Galaxy's Edge. I'd never posted on this group before. I'd lurked on there. I sort of followed the development of the page, and I'd really, you know, it had been a really nice part of sort of looking forward to the trip, and really that group was a huge part of why we were there. You know,
I mean,
it got me excited.
Yeah, we've been following the creation of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I've been seeing
months.
people going, and you know,
watching YouTube videos, and I mean, we were like slightly obsessed with it.
So I thought, well, I'll post on there what had happened to us, but I did it, you know, it wasn't looking for sympathy or whatever. It was like, you know, we've on this trip of a lifetime, our honeymoon, you know, looking forward to Galaxy's Edge. We've had this accident, but we ain't gonna let it stop us going. Is more or less what I said. And then a short time later, I got a message from someone called Brian Carlson, who asked if we could meet him the following night.
I think it was.
It was the following night.
Yeah, I think it was the following night.
Because a few of us have got something special planned, ... And we'll leave it there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Nanu.
Okay.